Hi everybody, it's Diana. Let's take a look at the energy for Saturday, December 18th. Whoa. That card wanted to join us. Let's see. We have Knight of Wand. You see a knight on a horse that's leaping forward. He's holding a wand with little green sprouts coming out. It looks like he is either at a desert or a very barren hills in the back. I don't really see any grass or living things. And he's also wearing like a yellow golden shirt that's sort of mirroring the color of the mountain with salamanders on his robe. The Knight of Wands is typically seen as a very sexy, charming guy who has a very can-do attitude, who may like to, boast and brag a little bit, and he's absolutely confident in his own abilities, maybe sometimes to his own detriment. On the positive side, this is very much somebody who is very irresistible, extremely charming. And I think on the negative side, sometimes he's literally leaping before he has had time to really think things through. And today, with a full moon, there's some pretty challenging aspect in the air. I mean, on one hand, we have the moon and Neptune that's squaring. On the other hand, there's Mercury and Chiron squaring. I mean, that's a lot of astrology mumbo jumbo. So in layman's term, basically, the communication can be kind of wonky. There's some challenging aspects in the air. And the fact that the full moon today falls in Gemini, I think there's very much a theme about let's re-examine our own ideas about life and communication. What do we think about life? How are we viewing it? And how does that correlate into our ideas of communication and our current situation and how all that is folding in? I want to actually take a look at the advice card for us. Try this again. Oh, come on. Wow, sometimes this is going to take a while. All right. Oh, here it is. And the card we have, advice card we are looking at is chaos and conflict. And I'm actually looking at the two horses. I'm not sure if you can tell through the color because the lighting is a little off right now, but the two horses have definitely similar color theme going on. And even the sky have a little bit of a blue undertone, very similar blue undertone. And they both look like they're sort of in the middle of desert or barren land. Interesting. Life always ebb and flows. We constantly have chaos and then conflict, and that goes, and the next thing happens is things get reorganized, reshuffled, and we have order again. And then soon after, we have chaos and conflict, followed by another period of organization, order. So it sort of just goes with life's ebb and flow. It's just a natural circle or cycle of life that we go through all the time. And if you look at this picture, it's literally things falling to disarray, getting rid of the things that's no longer serving us, which is very much in line with the energy of any full moon. Any full moon in full moons in general are about letting go of things or tying up loose end or grand finale of things. Sometimes we choose those endings, and sometimes those endings are chosen for us. I think the universe has a way of helping us along to get rid of things that doesn't work for us anymore. I mean, even our skin, I think a lot of you know that even our skin cells turn over every 28 to 35 days, depending on depending on our age. So our body parts rejuvenate, our skin cells rejuvenate, and the circumstances in our life, of course, go through the same rhythm and cycle. So I think when I see this chaos and conflict, which I think it's the second or third time we're seeing it this month, there's very much an idea of conflict. And for some of you, the conflict could be externally, whether it's in a family situation or relationship situation that you're going through, or for some of you, the conflict could be very much internal. Maybe you are going through an identity transition with where you see yourself and where you want to be, and you're going through the great reconciliation of one's identity. Or it could be something how you see where you should be in life. And I think my friends and I were talking about a lot of times we have this internal turmoil and conflict because how we see ourselves and how the world sometimes projects on ourselves, there's an inherent conflict. So for example, one of my friends is telling me that her parents wanted her to be a doctor her entire life, and she's done the medical school. She is a doctor, and she absolutely, her heart is just not in it. She wants to pursue a completely different path in a much more creative field. But I think her parents are very much worried. One, they think she's too old to pursue a different path, and two, they're very much worried about financial security. And she's been having that conversation with her family. So for her, the conflict would be the conflict of family value versus her own value, family expectation versus her own expectation, and the courage to address it, bring it up as a first step. And then, I think the first step for her was that she was brave enough to recognize it and admit it to herself. Then she has the courage of approaching her family and the people she loved the most. And three, which I think is a path that she's on, is she is going to have a great reconciliation one way or another. And I think for her own happiness, she already knows what is it she has to do. And I tell her every storm passes, and chaos ultimately leads to a reordering of things. Sometimes the chaotic period could be a couple days, couple weeks, couple months. Sometimes it could be much, much longer of a process. But it's like growing up, or it's like gardening or planting trees. There are some things in life you can't hurry them. Well, at least you shouldn't hurry them. At least nothing really good come out of hurrying Mother Nature. At least that's just my opinion. And I'm looking at this and thinking that for a lot of us, for this horse, I think there are just times where you have to allow yourself, your situation, to have the time and process everything through. And I'm also looking the Knight of Wands, where traditionally this card is not known to be indicating someone with a lot of patience, or a situation could be hurrying you along. For example, maybe you got a job offer and they're telling you, I need you to give me an answer in 24 hours. And as we all know, a lot of times when we rush into things, more often than not, we either make the wrong decision, or at the very best, we rush into a decision that later on when we look back, we kind of wish we tweaked it, or spent a little bit more time trying to process information. So that is the energy we're working with today. Very much of a chaotic, hurry up, impatient kind of energy. And the advice card we actually have for us that in the midst of chaos and conflict is to actually slow down, take the time you need, allow chaos to work through itself so you can get to the organization, you can get to the order, and then this too shall pass and you will come out on the other side. And another thing I want just to mention to everyone who's watching, listening to this is the energy of the day. There's a lot of potential for wonky communication. So today of all days is the day you want to slow down a little bit and only take advice for people you absolutely trust. Or at the very least, just take tonight to sleep on whatever urgent decision that people are trying to push you along and try to hurry you along. Like I said, you can hurry nature, and a lot of times you can hurry the thinking process, the creative process, or whatever maturing process that you seem to be going through right now. And that is the energy I see for us today. Thank you very much for listening, for watching, and I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Have a fantastic day.